Okay, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our webinar on students, the digital journey from open day to alumni. Thanks so much for joining us today. My name's Jack, and we're going to be discussing what more higher education institutions can do to ensure that each individual student remains continuously engaged from the moment they make that initial inquiry to the day they graduate and beyond. So, what's the purpose of this session? Well, we're going to be talking a lot about trends within higher education, trends regarding the latest generation of applicants, also known as the millennial, and trends that we've seen from our own first-hand experience within higher education. Which brings me to who we are. Well, Sterling has been working with higher education institutions for the best part of 30 years, and in one way or another, we've got a connection to nearly every higher education institution within the UK. We manufacture more annual prospectuses for institutions than any other UK provider, and in addition to this, we develop comprehensive digital solutions for marketing and communication teams within higher education. Everything from websites to back-end CRM systems to out-and-out mobile applications. And all of these solutions have been driven by the first-hand experience we've gained from our unique position within the higher education marketplace. The business has been going since 1990. It's made its name primarily in digital and litho print. Since then, we've also expanded into direct mail, storage and fulfillment, point of sale, and design and creative. It's a £28 million business, continuing to grow and invest in a number of different areas, but mainly in online solutions, which is what we're going to be discussing today. But what's new within higher education? Well, university applications are on the rise. A total of 561,420 people have applied to start a course in 2019, and that's almost 2,500 more than where we were at this point last year. And it's the first increase in 3 years. Application numbers are up in England and Wales. They're down a little bit in Northern Ireland, but it's about the same in Scotland. And this increase in application rates comes alongside a 1.8% fall in the total number of 18-year-olds in England, demonstrating a real demand for higher education. And what's actually driving this? Well, we're finding that universities are having to fight harder for students. There's been a huge rise in the number of unconditional offers that are being made. And last year, the total made to 18-year-olds from England, Northern Ireland, Wales was just under 68,000. And that's a rise in just under 66,000 since 2013. The BBC reported that nearly a quarter of applicants received such an offer. In addition to this, the number of foundation year courses are on the rise. Foundation year courses are particularly useful around clearing time. It allows institutions to take on more students, essentially saying that if you miss out on the grades, well, you can't come in on the exact course you're after this year, but you can do a foundation degree to ensure you still get to come to university, prepare for your main degree, and it would add an additional year onto their course. And finally, and this is more than ever at Sterling, we're seeing that universities are becoming ever more focused on creating more personalized experiences to ensure that each individual student knows that his or her preferences and interests were taken into account by the institution that they are interested in. So what's ahead of us? Well, the downside is the fight is going to get harder. It's being reported that tuition fees are likely to go down. A government-commissioned review on student finance is expected to call for a cut in fees, with the figure £7,500 now being floated. The current £9,000 plus fee, and the debt that comes with it, is one of the main turn-offs for students considering applying to university. Should that figure go down, one would think applicant numbers would rise. So how can you stand out? And what can you do to create more personalized experiences? Well, this brings us to our solution, Tracker. Because one way to do that is through the prospectus. In many instances, prospectus is a university's handshake. And what better way to demonstrate this, that you've taken their interests into account, than to add a little bit of personalization to this? We've recently done some work for one institution that now not only adds a student's name to the cover of the prospectus, but also inserts more information about the courses that that student expressed interest in at the front of the prospectus. So how does the solution work? Well, Track is a system that will allow you to establish and track more personalized marketing campaigns based upon a close examination of the prospectus ordering system. Through an easy-to-use web-based interface, institutions and their marketing teams can quickly identify important information, such as which type of users are showing most interest in their institution, what their interests are, and where they're located geographically, to name a few examples. Now, that data is collected from the moment they make that initial inquiry into the institution. As you start to fill out the data capture form, Track is building a profile of that institution and building upon a database with the potential for you to create more data-driven, personalized marketing campaigns in the future. As I said, there's two parts of the system, the end user site and the admin dashboard. I mean, the end user site's where your data capture page lies, but your admin dashboard, that is where you can effectively see the data that's being pulled together and make more data-driven marketing decisions on that in the future. Show you some screenshots of what that could look like, or does look like for some institutions that are using it. We can quickly see the total number of personalized and generic requests that have come in. And we can also see specifically where that interest lies. In addition to this, the admins can manage this dashboard, brand it to their own institution, and view all the analytics regarding the institution here. You can track repeat orders, you can reject or approve instances where users have requested more than one prospectus on more than one occasions here. You can monitor your stock levels, you can see what additional information people are asking for when they complete that original inquiry. Basically, the data capture form is a great way to survey students right from that first inquiry into the institution. If it's something that's of interest to you, drop me an email after the session and I'll gladly arrange to do a more in-depth session on this in the future. But what about the existing students? How can you improve things for them? Well, that brings us to Connect. Sorry for that. That brings us to Connect. And we're now going to come out of this presentation to give you a live demo real time on this. So apologies for that. Now. So again, two parts to Connect here. We've got our admin dashboard here on the left, and then we'll have our mobile application displayed in our device here on the right. Now, Connect centralizes communications that are traditionally spread around several disparate platforms. News, events, jobs on campus, offers and promotions, it's all there in one mobile platform. Everything within it is driven by segmentation. You can filter content to ensure that each end user only sees the information that is most relevant to them. This could be done on an internal level. For example, you could associate content with internal staff, internal departments even. So if I wanted to publish an article just for the marketing and communications team, I can check that box of marketing and communications once I've set that group up in my dashboard. Go to the groups manager on here. Very simple to set groups up. We'll call this. So we'll call it group A. We add different members to that group. If we then go to a news article, we can quickly segment and say, actually, only show this to people who are in Group A or Group B, however many different groups that you've set up. It's very much instant input, instant output. So if I change the text that we've got on here, save that, then refreshes in here, there's no need to update the app from the Apple App Store, the Google Play Store. Instant input here, instant output there. I can even set up a lockdown version of the dashboard, so heads of different societies could create and schedule or publish content just for their society. And again, just to reiterate, you're only ever seeing what's most relevant to you. So if someone wants to create a news item or event for the society they run, only students within that society will see this. If we go onto the events page now, you can see a couple of test events that I created here earlier. You can monitor attendance on these. So if we go onto our open day event, that's our featured article. At the minute, no one's down for attending. If we now say yes on here, we get an update on there, and the dashboard updates immediately to show that someone has accepted this event. So this is a great feature because, when I was at university, news events at both the society and even an academic level were often coordinated through Facebook. Following on in particular from the Cambridge Analytica hacks last year, Facebook usage is down, and that lack of trust in these large US multinationals is on the rise, and the stat does go beyond just the millennials. So we'll be pleased to know that all the data that's being pulled together in this dashboard monitoring engagement is in your hands. There's no reliance on any third party, no Google, Facebook, anything like that. And it very much is, even if you're using this dashboard, not even us at Sterling would be able to see what content you're coordinating through it. It's all in control, all in your hands here. So really, we just want to kind of reiterate on the power of data here, because data-driven decision-making is key in all of the solutions that we're offering. The value to staff and academics and the students who are using the app is clearly the app itself. It's centralizing all my content in one location. However, the value to marketing and communications teams is the dashboard that's revealing who's engaging with what content. From this, you can then tailor future content based on previous engagement. So it may be that you want to target a particular promotion, say a free coffee on campus, to the most engaged users. Conversely, that might not actually be the group that you want to be targeting. A more strategic approach would be to offer the coffee to the least engaged users, encouraging them to come back into the app and see what's happening. So hopefully we've been able to outline a lot of the challenges higher education are facing today, as well as the tools that we've got in place to help you address them moving forward. Now, even though this is a webinar and it's all happening remotely, there is a takeaway from this. You can actually download the Connect UK app from either the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store by just searching Connect UK, and you'll see this logo that was on the digital membership card earlier. Once you download that, you can go to login, and there'll be a registration button on there as well. I mean, if we log out now and go to login, and we go to register down the bottom here, it will ask you for a customer code. Now, if you type in HE as your customer code when you're registering, all in uppercase, and click submit, you can then put in your details. For membership number, just put in whatever you like. Put in your own email address so that we can get a confirmation if you need to reset your password. And that will then notify me in the dashboard when someone's registered. So here's one that I did earlier. I'd then be able to go into this, I'd approve it, and then you can come into the app and see what's happening from there. It's quite useful. So if I go back into the app now where we were earlier, so let's just pause this a sec. You can see that a lot of the things that I've discussed here today, we've actually put as articles in the newsfeed. So things like Tracker, you'd be able to log in and find out more information on that. Things like Connect, just the summary of what it is, that's all there as well. We've got the inline pictures showing screenshots of the dashboard. And even when I've said things about the rise in tuition fees, I've put that story in there, and I've also put the sources in there. So we went onto the rise in tuition fees article, or not tuition fees, rise in university applications, pardon. And we went down to the bottom. I've put the UCAS source in there. And if you click on that, that will actually take you to the original page where I saw that article earlier. So yeah, I really encourage you to download the app, register for it, and play around with it yourselves. And if you're interested in any further demos for that, then feel free to reach out and contact us at any time. Thanks so much for joining us today, and we look forward to speaking to you in the future.